Okay, live stream is on. You're good to go.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's 1:07 p.m. on Friday, February 6th. This is a regular meeting of the Kentucky State Board of Elections, albeit at a different date and time than we usually meet. Michael Adams, the Secretary of State and Chief Election Official and Chair of the Board. I want to thank everybody in attendance, both on the big screen and behind me in the audience. I'd like to call us to order, and I'll start by recognizing our members in the order I see you. Member Owens.
Carl Owens, Kenton County member.
Member Griggs.
Julie Griggs, member McCracken County.
Member Ferris.
Eric Ferris, member Jefferson County.
Member Sears.
Dwight Sears, member Pulaski County.
Member Perry. Could you unmute for us real quick?
Sue Carol Perry, member Shelby County. Sorry about that.
No problem. Member Brown.
John Brown, member Jefferson County.
Member Skolnick.
Corey Skolnick, member Jefferson County.
Member Brangers.
Deanna Brangers, member Jefferson County.
Well, we have a full house. Thank all of you for attending, and we'll get down to our business. Our first item is to approve our draft minutes of our December meeting. They're in everyone's packet. Do we have a motion to approve our December 2025 minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. And next we have our minutes from our special meeting on January 5th. Do we have a motion to approve those?
So moved.
Second.
Been seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Next we have we need a motion so that we can accept the time sheets submitted by our executive director. They're also in your packet, or actually they were sent separately, but you have received them. Do we have a motion for that?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. So historically, when we get to the county plans, I always push that to the end and push through the easy stuff first. But I think this time the county plans are not going to be controversial. I just want to say I've been here now for over 6 years, and some of you all have too. And I can't remember a time that we have had so much access, especially in a non-presidential year. Some of these plans are even more robust than what we had for presidential election. And I just want to say how happy I am and grateful to the clerks for stepping up and offering wide access for our voters this election year. We always come into this, and I think we're going to have a lot of issues to resolve. And these look great to me. So I'm just going to move right into them and see what you all think about them as well. I want to say at the outset that of 120 county plans, 97 of the plans are the same plans they had for 2024. And that's significant because in 2024, we were dealing with a presidential level of turnout. And candidly, we're not going to have a presidential turnout in a non-presidential year, but they still have the same plans. That's really significant. It's totally acceptable and understandable to have more locations when you have more voters. But they are providing the same level of service that they provided 2 years ago, and that election went very smoothly. So I certainly feel for myself that those plans are going to be adequate for 2026. Of the other 23, and I won't go through them itemized unless someone wants that, but for the other 23, most of the plans that have changed, some of them changed to add more locations. That's remarkable, to actually add locations beyond what we had in the presidential year. The other ones largely are just moving a location, but it's the same number of locations. We had a few counties that do have fewer locations, or they've consolidated, or they have one fewer vote center or what have you. So my question for the members is, what's your preference in how we take these up? We can take them up in groups. We can go through them individually. I don't think anyone wants that, but we can. We can take them all at once. We can parse them. It's really up to you. We do have some clerks behind me. I'm sure if there's discussion on their plan, they would like to present and they can come up. How would you all like to proceed?
My suggestion, Mr. Secretary, would be if members have particular plans that they want to address, we take those first, and then we just vote on everything in one fell swoop if we can.
That sounds good to me. Does any member have a particular county plan they want to discuss? And I won't put them on the spot. As I said, we have some clerks with us from Montgomery, Franklin, and Bullitt counties. If you have questions for them, they can answer them. But if there's any plan that you want to talk about, we can talk about it. Otherwise, I think we'll just move into a motion from Member Skolnick.
I'll second his motion.
Yeah.
Okay. So motion and seconded is to approve all 120 county plans. Did I say that right? Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Ayes have it. All right. Thank you very much. So next we have approval and ratification of new county board of election members. That's in your packet as well. Karen, can you walk us through those, please?
Certainly will. I'll be happy to. We have 6 counties for ratification. They were approved earlier, so the members, the new replacements could go ahead and participate in county board of election meetings prior to this February 6th date. So I had approved those, but they need board ratification. There are 6 counties. That's Bath County. The Republican member stepped down to run for office. We recommend.
Democrat. It was a Democrat.
Oh, it was a Democrat. Okay, sorry about that. The Democrat stepped down to run for office, and but we did receive the information we need to verify the 5 names on the list, and they recommended for ratification Lewis, Warren, Patton. I'll just take all the ones for ratification first. And then Nelson County, their Democrat member stepped down to also run for office. Documentation again was received from the local party and recommended for ratification as Mary Janice Hall. Logan County, their Republican member resigned temporarily to take the role of campaign manager for a local candidate. Recommended for ratification there is Stetson Corsi. In Owen County, the Republican member as well temporarily resigned. His son is running for an office in Owen County, so he temporarily stepped down. Recommended for ratification there is Edwin Glenn Mans. In Pike County, the Republican member resigned. This was recommended for ratification is Dima Lidovic. And I also want to mention that Marie Childers, that is the member that resigned, stepped down, we've been able to determine she's been a county board of election member since 1990. And we believe it could have been before that. So I'm not sure there's been another one that has.
So can I add,
Yes.
I know Marie well, and I'm closing on the precise number, but she started volunteering as a poll worker when she was 18. So between being a poll worker, and she never missed an election. So between being a poll worker and being on the board of elections for 35, 36 years collectively, and she's almost 100. So we're talking about like 80 years basically of service. Pretty remarkable.
Absolutely right. And I appreciate your saying that too, because Marie is a friend of mine as well. And I know it was difficult for her to step down, but her health began to, it's pretty rigorous being on the county board of elections, and particularly in a year like 26 with all the candidates on the ballot. So, but her service was exceptional. Also for ratification is Simpson County. Their Republican member stepped down to run for office. and recommended for ratification is Chrissy Cummins. And if you'd like, would you want me to do the ones for approval or you want to?
Let's just do them all. Is that all right? Yeah.
So the two for approval, Letcher County, their Republican member resigned temporarily to run for office. Recommended for approval is Maria Angie Miranda Holbrook. Montgomery County, their Democrat member recently passed away, and recommended for approval is Elizabeth K. Lang. And those are the ones that are up for ratification and approval by the board.
Okay, do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nice have it. What are these people thinking, run for office? My goodness. That's a good thing. Glad someone's doing it. Next we have, oh, there's Rachel. We have Rachel Pointer here for our financial report. Hello, Rachel.
Good afternoon. I don't want to get off trend here, so I will be brief. December and January are two of our slowest months financially because they fall right in the middle of our fiscal year. So everything is a low spending month for the month of December. And I don't have any anomalies unless anyone would like to ask any questions, but I can say that during the month of December and the beginning of January, we made sure and get all of our timely reports into EAC for our election security and our Section 251 grants. So if anybody has any questions, I'll be happy to help.
Can I ask a quick question? It's really more for all of the staff, but I'll direct it to you. I saw that the president signed an appropriations bill earlier this week, and there's $45 million for election security funds. Do we file the same sort of request that we typically file, and what's the timeline for that?
So once that EAC, once they divvy up, we have an estimation of how much that will be. We can't confirm that yet, but as soon as the EAC is ready to disperse those funds, they have 45 days since the bill is signed, and then we will accept those funds. So it should be any time. I haven't seen a notification from them yet about an estimated timeline, but as soon as they do that, then we will get the paperwork over to your office. We will sign the narrative and sign the budget, and it will go through that certification process.
Not to put everyone on the spot, but have you all thought about what you would do with this, where we should put it?
We have discussed it. It is, I will say that the estimated amount is a very, very minimal amount. It is the lowest we have seen since my tenure here. So it is going to be very limited in what we can do with it, for sure.
It's 45 million split 50 ways, and it's proportional to the state population, more or less, right? So it's going to be thousands, not millions, right?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
Is this new money, or is this just a money that we typically get?
It is a money that we have historically gotten election security funds from the Election Assistance Commission. And since 2020, they have come in annually. They've
come in
annually.
Okay.
So yeah, about this time every year, this will just be the lowest amount that we have seen.
Okay. Thank you.
Any questions or comments for Rachel? Okay, do we have a motion to approve the report?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Let's have it. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you, Rachel.
And next we have Karen Sellers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll just mention one thing that recently in my report, I was in Washington with the National Association of State Election Administrators. Richard and Taylor and I were there. And as I do each year when I go to Washington, I make appointments with our federal, congressional and Senate leaders and or their legislative staff, and was able to do that again this year. And Taylor and I, had a fact sheet about some of the things going on in Kentucky and things that we're doing at State Board of Elections, questions, answers, that they may need from us. And just, I will say that there wasn't a single member that we saw. There was only one we didn't get to see. And they were all very complimentary of the work that Kentucky is doing toward integrity and security elections. And I mean, when I say overall, it's the clerk, secretary of state, and state board of elections. So I just wanted to make sure that we go on the record that we have a good reputation with our group there. So I was very happy to hear that, as Taylor was too. Each year after 2025, I do a quick review of some of the things that State Board of Elections has done in 2025, and I'll try to be brief. Other than we remained in high gear in 2025, as did the clerks, as did the Secretary of State's office, because we're in preparation, even though we don't have elections. There's always something that we're doing.
We don't get a year off?
No. Do you?
No.
Do you all get a year off? But anyway, we're happy to continue the work that we do with elections, just as I know the Secretary, his office, as well as all the clerks. But I did want to just mention some of the numbers about list maintenance for 2025. So in February, we did our NVRA, the National Voter Registration Act, and Kentucky state law of the portion of list maintenance that we need to do, that are the 8D2 and 8C1 cards. We did 123,773 8D2 cards. These are movers. The 8C1s, 25,916 cards were mailed, and these are movers within the state. Of that number, we had returned to our office undeliverable 48,997 cards, which we have now scanned into the voter registration system, which puts us in our continued process of list maintenance. So that, that's a pretty big amount, but it does keep us on track with continuing our list maintenance process. The other thing is in 25, we had memorandum of understandings. I know we've spoken about some of the other states that we've coordinated with on voter data exchange. Ohio, West Virginia, Florida, Missouri, and Texas were executed in 25. And we have exchanged data with Virginia, Ohio, and Alabama to this point. And again, sent AD2 mailers based on the data that we exchanged in each of those states. And so totaling from all three states is about 15 or 16,000 cards that we, mailed after the initial one. In February of 2025, we removed 225,311 inactive voters. Then we also every month have more that we remove, other removals, which are deceased, felony conviction, mentally incompetent, as under the court, at the voter's request. Non-citizen and duplicates total 56,890 additional ones. And any of our list maintenance activity can be found on our website at elect.ky.gov. It goes through what our process is and what federal and state law requires us to do. One of the large things that was our responsibility in the board and to do was at the end of June 30th, 2025, is the end of the 4-year term of all the Republican and Democrat County Board of Election members. So under the Democrat Party and the Republican Party, they reorg and they appoint new, or they provided us with a list of 5 names, which were all reviewed by our office and make sure they're qualified candidates for CBOE. And the board had approved 120 new Democrat and Republican members, even though we do some replacements during the year. But that was all done according to the deadline provided by the statute. So that was, a pretty big job. Thanks to Richard, he revised the County Board of Elections, County Board of Elections election official guide. So the clerks would have something to train their new members. And it was a pretty thorough guide. So it's also posted on our website. You know, the entire year we meet with KCCA every month. We always try to provide, you know, some kind of training or anything that's going on, or any activity we know about federally or statewide, and always available to answer questions from the clerks, not just at their meetings, but every day. So under finance and administration, some of Rachel's areas, she mentioned, you know, the federal progress and financial reports. She does those quarterly and timely, and we report that to the EAC for all of our security grants. We also timely submitted our biennial budget request this year. Along with our baseline budget, we also made some additional requests, which I'll mention again, the election official certification program that we started. We are trying to get some general funding dollars to be able to support that for the clerks coming up, and new clerks, and hopefully be able to include deputies at some point in that training. We also requested some additional dollars for some kind of marketing, because under statute we provide some marketing, but we've had to use federal funds to do that. So we were trying to get some of those federal funds moved to general funding.
You're talking about the billboards that we did for early voting,
right,
things like
right.
that? Okay.
Some things like that, or just, you know, communication that we have to do about voting sites or whatever. And we've had to use federal funding, and it would be nice to have some general funding to do that, since our federal funding is starting to dwindle to, like you said, thousands as opposed to closer to 1 million. So we, you know, doing that. We also are trying to transition our GIS funding, which we use federal funds to do reapportionment and all the areas that we did on precinct establishment, and layering our shape files and layering all the mapping. We're trying to move that federal funding into general funding as well, and try to get it some off our federal funds. We also, I don't think any of the counties here used a plum case, but we had plum cases where some of the particularly rural counties need that connectivity. We also got some additional plum cases in 2025 through a grant at the Kentucky Homeland Security. And so we are getting those, we'll get those ready to deploy for the May primary. We also had our contract with Bluegrass Integrated Communications, that's what it's called. That contract ended, so we have transferred all of our printing and some of the printing we do on behalf of the clerks, notifications they send out through VRS for voter registration changes. That agreement is now held with United Direct Solutions, who does have a master agreement state. You know, VRS training, we do that with the counties as they request. You know, they have had turnover in their offices, and they need, you know, some VRS training to get their get their new office staff up and running. We also continue to roll out cybersecurity enhancements. We did a pretty significant one at the end of in December. And so that's one of the things that we constantly work with IT to make sure that we are enhancing cybersecurity and enhancing all of our voter management programs the best we can. The one thing that, you know, I compliment Richard on is our GIS modernization project that we did last year. Phase 1 of that project was completed in December, at the end of December, which was our goal, and we met our goal, and the counties were great to work with to get all that mapping done. But now, this is probably the first time that SBE can rely on a truly unified set of statewide maps. And I just, you know, it's a comprehensive county level precinct data layer for all 120 counties, digital. there's no paper, and it ensures the boundaries for precincts are now putting voters in the right place. So our next phase, which they've already started to work on, and we'll continue to report this, is the tool that is going to be provided to the counties that they can put an address in, and it automatically tells them where they're coded and what precinct that address is in. So that's a huge project. We started on the western part of the state and moving this direction. I think, what do we have, about 40 done now? Yeah. So thanks to Meg Henderson, who has been a tremendous help in getting this done, and Richard, because he's been a big part of, let's get these visuals. So that's been huge. I want to mention again the election certification and training program. I just want to compliment KCTCS for their partnership and work, and the county clerks who had a working group for us so we could establish a good curriculum. If the board doesn't mind, I'd like you to see the 2-minute introduction to our certification program. Keith can pull that up. It's we hope that the pilot will start by March 1. We kind of got aggressive in our timeline and tried to get the 4 classes really truly up and running. But we've had interest from several clerks wanting to participate.
That's great.
So,
Is this on our website?
yeah, not yet.
Oh, okay.
Not yet, but we just wanted to.
Welcome to Kentucky Elections 101. This 4-hour course is designed for county clerks and their deputies. Over the next 4 hours, we will walk through Kentucky's election structure, federal and state law application, voter registration, candidate filings, ballot preparation, election day operations, absentee voting, audits and certification, and strategies to build public trust. This course incorporates the Kentucky State Board of Elections, County Board of Elections Training Guide 2025, and references federal and state statutes and administrative regulations. Please follow along with the slides and the guide provided by your county and the state board. Before we begin, please note, this course is a legal and procedural overview. For specific legal questions, consult your county attorney, the State Board of Elections Legal Counsel, or the Secretary of State for candidate filing questions. For campaign finance questions, consult the Kentucky Registry of Election Finance. Materials for this course include the training guide, sample forms, VRS screenshots, and checklists. We will indicate where to find forms and online portals such as the Voter Information Portal, VRS, VRS Scan, ENR, and the UOCAVA portal. Let's begin with Kentucky's election structure.
So that's just a quick introduction to Elections 101. And we have the script done, but I appreciate the board letting me share that. Thanks to KCTCS again for helping us with the script and getting the video done and the voiceover.
Very soothing. Which we could all use right now.
So anyway, but I hope that it will be a big help to the county clerks and their deputies over the years, and at no cost to the clerks. I mean, this is something.
Has that rolled out yet, Karen?
Probably the pilot will roll out March 1st.
Is there a way that we could join in on some of this as well? I'd love to sit through the whole 4-hour training as well with our clerks.
Actually, yes, we'll work with KCTCS on that. So happy to do it. Yeah. So, but anyway, I just want to thank the board and Secretary of State and your office and all the county clerks for all the support. Richard, my administrative staff, the IT staff, for all the helping work through 25. So I've concluded my report.
This is a big year. For an off year.
For an off year,
Yeah,
yes. You
very
know, a lot
productive.
going on, so anyway, but
Thank you. Any questions or comments for Karen?
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to say that that was a relatively short summary of a tremendous amount of work. And I would just like to commend Karen, Richard, Taylor, Rachel, and the whole team. It's amazing to watch them in action, and they're so good about keeping us informed and working with us. And I want to thank all that group for all that work.
If I could follow up on that, ditto to all of that. I do have a substantive question, Karen. And that is, you put out a lot of numbers earlier there. I know that what I'm interested in is last year we purged, as I recall, about 225,000 people. Am I correct? Do I have the right number in the right category? And I didn't get out of the numbers you cited about this year if we have a number for this year. I know that number for the last year was for more than 1 year, that it had been accumulating for a while. But do we have a number yet that would be comparable to that, or does that come later?
I don't think we have a number yet, but we expect it to be lower than that number, right?
Member Owens, you're talking about the next one of these that we do in 2027?
Right.
Because we can't do them now because we're in the quiet
right.
period.
Right. It's a quiet
Okay,
period.
I'm sorry. I'm not familiar with that. This is not an annual thing?
No, we can't do it under the National Voter Registration Act. There's two types of removals. One is people who pass away or felony convictions or mental impairments, et cetera. We can act on those basically in real time. But the ones that the two of you are talking about, those are the change of address, non-responsive to the postcard, doesn't vote, apparently moved out of state, et cetera. Those people, we can't take action on immediately under federal law or state law. And we also have quiet periods where we can't take people off on that basis. And so what we've done in 2023 and 2025 is in the off year, when we don't have a federal election, we're out of the quiet period. So we do them in the off year. But because the quiet period is so big and it surrounds federal elections, and we have 2 this year, it's just not as feasible to try to do it in a federal election year. So we don't expect to do another one of these until next year.
Okay.
And then probably would be less.
Yeah, and to Karen's point, just there's so much low-hanging fruit that we didn't catch for a long time because we weren't doing these. That's why we were sued in 2017. We're now in compliance. The federal court's happy. But that also means the numbers get less dramatic because we're getting caught up.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anything else for Karen? Okay, thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
Next, we have Danetta Ford Allen with us, representing the KCCA. Welcome, Danetta. Still on mute. Mention.
I appreciate you giving me a minute. I do want to thank Karen and all the team at State Board of Elections, and I'm excited about the new GIS system. I did get to test that tool out. It is going to be a great asset to our counties, and I look forward to each of the other county clerks getting to use that tool. So I hope we get that extra funding for that. And I'm also excited about the certification program and the opportunities. Not only is that going to give us as clerks, but also for the deputy clerks. Thanks for all the support that you all give us.
Well, thank you, and thank all of you for doing such a great job with these plans. Really impressive. Thank you.
It was nice to go through those so quickly today.
Yeah, I think that's a record in the Guinness Book for debate on county plans. Do we have any questions or comments for Danetta?
May I say something real quick?
Sure.
That's one thing I meant to say when we were approving the plans, that I just appreciate all the clerks and the deputies for getting them to us so quick. We appreciate that.
Seconded. Okay, anyone else? Okay, thank you, Danetta. So as usual, I'm gonna jump ahead and see, is there any other business we need to take up? We do need a closed session, and we like to typically save that for last and then come out of that and just adjourn versus coming back in for more business. Do we anticipate any other business out of the closed session? Is that going to produce anything? Okay.
Secretary Adams, could I make a statement?
Oh,
before
yeah,
you
please.
come out of
Come up.
closed?
Yeah.
I talked to Danetta about this earlier, and it's Jeff Hancock, Franklin County Clerk, Vice President of the KCCA. Glad to be here with you guys today. Thank you for giving me a second. I really appreciate it. It's kind of funny because I just had to look on my phone to find this out. The Secretary of State, the year that we went and set our record for 50 cents a voter, was John Y. Brown.
Huh.
He was Secretary of State.
You know who to blame now.
The last time that clerks got a raise for what they do. Can you imagine any other business model going through at 50 cents a voter? Or, I mean, at the time when we set this rate, not only was John Y. our Secretary of State, but a cheeseburger cost 39 cents. Average house cost 39,000. Now we're at a point in time where we're still being asked as clerks to completely deliver a different business model with the same amount of type of money. We are asking right now for with the Senate and House budget review panels to consider raising us to $2 a registered voter. We would love to have your all support and your backing on this. It's the only way we're going to be able to keep up the service expected. We have to fund it, and we really need your all's help. From the State Board of Elections, Secretary of State, we need everybody to be part of this, and we'd ask for your all support on this.
100% from us, whatever you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Right. By the way, I got a cheeseburger from Five Guys yesterday, and it was $9. So
Must have been one magic cheeseburger.
Jeff, you might want to ask for $3.
Experience, that's the cheaper one, John.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so there's no other business before the board. I'm going to check that off. All we have left, do we need to discuss security, just litigation? Okay, so we don't need a security meeting, but we do need to have a closed session to discuss pending litigation. If I could please get a motion to go into closed session.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed. Ayes have it. So we're going to go into closed session, and when we come back in the open session, all we'll have is just to confirm our next meeting on February 7th.